first of all, I want to thank you for being here. It's been a long, we've been talking about this. So, coming to Australia is actually something that it's very, very massive for us. So my journey began like of course, my background. I'm Nigerian, and of course, so we started with coming here through a skilled migration process. Having a background as a medical scientist, and then came in here sometime a few years ago, and then started working with Women and Children Hospital for some time before transitioning to other things.
Wow.
Yeah, yes. So done a couple of other certifications here. Had my master's degrees here anyway.
Wow, you've done heaps, bro.
Yeah. So the journey started just from back home in Nigeria. Came here with my family. Yeah, so that's where we are at the moment.
So what made the decision to move to a new country?
A new country, yeah. So I think we sort of have the skill, and we saw the opportunity. There were opportunities in different parts of the world, in the US, in the UK, and Australia. But when we, like looked at Australia, we saw the opportunities via the Department of Home Affairs. I mean, the immigration process for Australia. They're looking for medical lab scientists, and then we started. My partner is also my wife is also a medical doctor, so we started working towards it, and we loved Australia because we saw that it was a place where people were generally accepted. It's not like people are not accepted in other places, but we just saw that there were some level of acceptance and lots of multicultural backgrounds here.
Yeah, definitely is. Well, it's since talking about multicultural, coming from if your platform listens to this as a person from South America, from Chile, obviously I've told you, it's changed a lot since when I remember there wasn't much immigrants. I'm telling you, there was not much. It was a very small handful of us. When I was growing up, there was mostly Italians and Greeks, of course.
Wow.
Vietnamese, Asians, very small group of South Americans. And when I was in high school, the other immigrants like Afghanistan, Africans, around 2010 started coming through. You know what I mean? So when I was like around 2010, I was like in high school or in year 10, started seeing more different types of nationalities coming. I never questioned that because I'm like, okay, maybe Australia's giving opportunity for some other parts of the world.
Yeah.
But now, fast forward to today, this is what we're here for, to as well understand where you guys are coming from.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of things happening here. It's not even just Australia, around the world, complaining about immigration and this and that.
Yes.
But little do they know. That's what I wanted to ask you. Like, when you found out there's opportunities here, well, not just here, but around parts of the world, like, how did you know that?
Okay, all right. So I like what you're saying now. So I think it's proper time to educate some people out there.
Oh, 100%.
Because there's a lot of mates with saying a dark-skinned person in Australia, and people don't know what Africa really sort of. Some people can see and say, "Oh, you're African." So some people think Africa is like a country. Oh, you're an African, that kind of thing. And you say, no, I'm African from a continent. Like somebody saying, I say you're South Australian. Oh, sorry, you're South American. That sort of stuff. So, but Africa have is a continent first of all, and I want your audience to also know that Africa, we have like 54 countries in Africa, and these 54 countries, they have different regions. All right, we have from these 54, we have the Northern Africa. We have 6 countries in it. We have the Western Africa. We have 16 countries there, where we have Nigeria, Benin, and all of that. We have the Middle and Central Africa, where we have Congo and Angola for people that and we have Eastern Africa, which is Burundi, Kenya, and some of that. We also have the Southern African continent, which have like 5 countries in it, which is South Africa and Botswana. So you can see how massive it is. Yeah, right. So these countries you're saying are being colonized by different. We'll go down to history, colonized by different people. Now I'm Nigerian. We're colonized by the British. Of course, everybody knows that. And of course, what I was raised and taught in school was with English language. We have our accent, our mother tongue. We have Igbo, we have Hausa, we have Yoruba. All right. I am biased with my country right now because I want to just like, explain it because I'm Nigerian.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, look at how it relates with what is here. Because when people see you here as an African, the first thing that comes to mind is this person is a person of color, no doubt. But they just start looking at you and start saying, "Oh, they're just refugees." This kind of word. I've seen some stereotyping here in Australia. Sometimes, because we're educated, so we don't get offended with it. Because when you know who you are and something, it's like somebody seeing you as some amazing stuff you're doing and say, "Oh, that's what Latinos like that just
Oh,
talking
yeah,
about."
yeah. I know what you mean.
That stereotyping thing. So, but at the end of the day, lots of people, Africans that come here are not really refugees, and being a refugee is not a bit like it's not really it's not bad because being a refugee is like saying that you are displaced because of war. And when I looked up in the Department of Home Affairs, which is takes over immigration in Australia, I was able to discover that at least the Africans within Africans, I mean the countries that people come through refugees here, there are about seven of them. And out of that seven, remember these countries went through war. All of them have war history. It's from Liberia to Sudan to Burundi to Ethiopia to Somalia to South Sudan. You understand? So these things come from all of those things. So at the end of the day, this is some of the things that I would like to let the audience know that other countries you're seeing like Nigeria, Ghana, and others things, we come through because when you go to the skill migration website, you see something like skills shortages in Australia.
Ah, see, that's the thing, man. That's what you've dived into is amazing because they got to know that Australia is calling out for help, and the reason why, since you said that, not just in Africa but in South America, I've seen there's an actual ads.
Wow.
You know what I mean? There's actual ads saying that Australia needs people and that they can give you opportunities, yada yada yada, in Spanish.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
So the audience got to understand that the leaders are sending out messages to other parts of the world to give them opportunities, or as well, like they need, like you said, they need certain people to do certain work.
And
Some
not just
people can't do.
yes, and not just Australia, even the US, the UK. These countries are like most countries need immigration. Continue with what you're saying.
Yeah, and no, 100%. And then what for me, from a person who I grew up here, but I've gone back to South America multiple times. So I can see why people get frustrated, but the thing is, people don't know what the leaders are doing, sending out these messages, and then you get people that are complaining about, oh, there's too many immigrants, this. Yeah, but have you dove deep into it? That's what I'm saying. Since you said that, people need to understand that. You know what I mean? What are you saying?
Yeah.
That you got refugees, and then you got people who come over for skilled migration.
Some come for studies.
Two different
Yes,
situations.
some come for studies and they get into the system let's just play the fact here because I've seen people say, oh, they're taking, you saw like you say many propagandas going on. Oh, they're coming here, immigrants are coming in here, they're taking our money, they're doing this and all of that. So, but we need to balance the fact that most immigrants come here. Some of them are studying, some of them are actually also working, and they're paying tax. And not just paying tax, some of them, the kind of visas they are on, they don't receive any support from the government. Some of them, the kids go to childcare and they pay like express fee, no subsidy. They're not enjoying it. Some of them are not on PR, they're on just temporary visas, other types of visas. So some people don't know that. Some people just feel like, oh, these people are just, propagandists. So education is something that we need to prioritize more in our generation. Because people are properly educated, and that is why I love your platform. Guys, if you're watching this right now, you need to be listening to this particular platform because this is something that is educating, and I think you talk about many other things here. So please make sure you tune in and subscribe as you're watching this. Now, why am I saying this? Because most people are not educated about some certain things, and sometimes you don't blame them because that is the limits they can know. You understand? And come on, your platform is beyond limits.
It's beyond our limits. It's the whole point of the platform. We're diving in, bro. There's no limits to what we want to talk about. We can dive straight in. You know what I mean? But it's amazing that what you're saying, because some people think, when I talk to people, and the reason why I say people, because it's not just white Australians, but there's a few other people as well. They're saying, oh, these people, they're immigrants that are coming in, they get help from the government, this and that. And I'm like scratching my head. I'm like, I'm not 100% sure about that, because where did you get the information from? That's the question. No one can answer that. So either people are just making it up in their heads or something. But even since you said, when we come here, we get no help. You have to come in here, you have to look for a job, you have to do this, put a kid in childcare. Like, for example, you can come here, you don't have your mom and dad here, I guess.
No, I don't have my.
So it makes it harder for you to look after your kids and go to work. See, I'm looking at the camera now. See, when people complain, why are you complaining? You have things that people wish to have. Like, you wish to have someone to help you look after your kids when you go to work. It makes it harder, right? That's what I mean. But people, you got to understand where they're coming from. It's not just about like, oh, they're coming here taking our jobs. Well, fortunately, there's some people here in Australia that don't want to work.
100%.
Why do you think Australia? Why do you think the leaders are sending out what you said, skill people?
Yeah.
Like, you come in here, you have something that's like some parts of the world, some Western countries need.
All right. So, for instance, you know, recently, just saying this off, there is a vacancy right now, and Australian government is saying we are looking for, you know, lots like big truck drivers. We can find. There's a vacancy of they're looking for about 60,000 of them.
Wow.
Is there? Yeah, can verify that. These are like massive, you know, skill shortage, and of course we need the economy to boost. All right. So and the fact there is that anybody you're seeing out there who is working, they're paying tax. They are contributing to the system. And as much as I can check a lot of things, you know, people need to have that conclusion in their minds that if these people are not skilled enough, they can be in certain position, they can do certain things. So it's not something about being biased, but it's like I love Australia is a beautiful country for crying out loud. It gives people opportunity to grow, you know, and all of that. And it's one of the things when people start building those propagandas. The question is, have you tried to go out there and get a skill for yourself? Is there something, have you gone to apply for a job and they said, no, you know? So if you have the skill and if you really want to work and if you want to do the, you know, the hard work and all of that, you would be in the same position. You know what I mean? So, but that being said, I was going to ask you probably like for some of us who come over here and they transition with, you know, cultural shock and all of that, because we were talking about that the other day.
Yes, and as I was going to ask you, actually, like I was going to ask you just then, how did it feel before leaving? Like, honestly, I wanted to ask you because you come from a different part of the world. You grew up there. The world over there probably is a lot different to some parts of the other parts of the world. How did it feel coming over here?
Okay, so one of the things that I want to say, I'm looking at the camera and I'm saying this, is that when you see somebody that have a dark skin or even somebody coming from another country, whether they're dark skinned or not, and they're moving to another country, it takes a lot of courage to do that. They left what they have known, they left everything they have grown up to know, and they are coming to explore into another place. The only thing that they deserve is kindness. That is all they deserve. Kindness and the support you can get. To be honest, when I came to Australia, I can tell you that I met one of the most amazing people here.
Mm.
Yeah. Angels in human forms. They were willing to help. I remember one time I came near and I didn't understand what was lasagna, all this kind of food.
Oh, it's a different type. So some
Different
foods
food.
you never thought
I
of.
haven't eaten all those food. And and somebody say, what do you want a splash of avocado? I'm like, what is splash?
Splash.
Why can't you be splashing avocados? I'm so like, what? And I'm like, I'm just thinking, I'm like, what is this? And they said, even a sparkling. And I'm looking at it. And the guy said, okay. Because I just want to hold my decorum, just manage myself. I said, you can get it. They get it. I didn't eat it. I looked at it for like minutes, and I looked around. People were enjoying the food. And I looked at it, and I'm like, how can I even eat this thing? I told you the other day I saw like tomatoes.
Yeah, you're telling me about that.
I'm like, how can I be eating raw tomatoes? Like, how? What is that? So, you know that. So, because these are not like things I am really exposed to.
Which is fair enough, bro. Because you're from a different part of the world, and your food is completely different to what you are here. You know, that's funny though. That's how it is though when you go to a different country.
I was on the plane when I was coming a long time ago. I was on the plane and a woman was beside me, and she was still going to Melbourne, according to her, she's Victorian, so she's quite an older woman. And she said, "Oh, it seems you just are moving over." So yeah, I'm coming here. Yeah, I got a skilled visa, and I'm actually pushing to. I'll be working with women and children hospital and all of that. She was excited, and she said to me, "Oh, do you want some red wines and some sparkling wines and all of that?" And I said yes. The reason I said yes was because that was what they were sharing in the air hostess was sharing it.
Yeah, yeah,
Guess
yeah.
what? I haven't eaten any of those drink. I don't know what they were from. Shiraz, whatever. Man, I don't know. I was just, they were Australian drinks, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I just said yes. And they gave it to me. When I tested it, I had to pretend like I was good with it.
Yeah,
So
but
she said,
what was your real thoughts?
my real thought was like, how can I remove this thing out of my mouth? What in the world is this? you know,
I had a feeling. What is
yeah.
this?
And then the cultural shock also gets to the workplace.
Okay.
Yeah, because some of us we come from different background. And I'm not just speaking from my country alone, but from many immigrants. So the workplace rules are different. Sometimes we'll come to work and somebody say, why are sometimes you see some certain immigrants they quiet, they don't like engaging. It's not like they like engaging. I'm new to this place. I'm trying to learn this place. I don't know if when I speak my English, if you can hear me well because of my accent. So there's a lot of many things that comes with it. Do you know when I came here new? I'm speaking for myself. I have come a long way. When I speak to you right now, you won't hear me properly. Why? Because intonation in English is different. The way an American English sounds is
Yeah, no,
different.
you're right.
The
You're right.
way an Australian English sounds is different. The way Africans speak the English is really like the accent because I have my mother tongue. Like I speak Igbo, for instance. So when I'm speaking it, you can hear that from my English sometimes. So and it took me time also to learn how to receive from someone like you. When you're talking, I say, "Excuse me, what are you saying? Go slow." And I remember when I was in
Yeah.
Melbourne, they were speaking this fast. I was like, "Hey man, hey mate, hey mate." I was like, "Which one is hey mate? What is hey mate, bro?
Uh, I know what you mean.
What is hey?"
I know what you mean because when I remember, this is like a little story. I know what you mean because when I go to my wife's country,
Yeah.
all right, in the Philippines, they speak English as well.
Wow.
But when I go there, I speak too fast.
Yes.
And I don't realize. I think in my brain, I think, oh yeah, I'm speaking normal. And then my wife would go to me and touch me in the shoulder. It's like, you're speaking too quick. And I'm
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? I'm speaking normal. No, you're speaking too fast for them. And it's true what you say because the Americans, I think their way of talking,
Yes.
they use a lot of they move their mouth a lot, and their way of talking is a bit slower. Australian is a lot faster.
Very fast.
You know what I mean? England is in between both.
Yes, yes.
It's in the middle, but I don't know why, but Australia, we love to talk fast.
Yes.
But living here all my life, like, I never thought. And then coming from a person from a different part of the world, you know what I mean? That's like the second time I've heard that.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's it's normal for everybody, and it takes time.
Yeah, of
And then
course.
you start learning. So when people see someone, I think migration should be something attached to courageous.
Yeah, it is courage. It's going to another part of the world and changing everything.
I embrace a lot of culture here. Sort of things like when I go to work, I wear a suit and not a tie. In my country, corporate. That's how the British dress because that's how the colonizers and that's how we dress.
So what the British, when they came in, they kind of taught you like, well, if you're going to go for a job, you have to wear like suit, tie,
Yes,
you have to wear
yes,
nice.
yes.
I like that though.
Yes, so that was how I dressed in my country. Most of my old pictures, if I show it to you, you'll be like, wow. I think you should see some of them.
I'll see them
Yeah,
after this.
yeah. But when I came here, I saw the dressing pattern. Like you can literally, wear like shirt, anything, and like as long as it's looking covered and appealing to work, and that's really good. I embraced it. I embraced the food. I started embracing a lot of things. You know what I mean? So, and of course, I have my children here. They were born here, so I have to embrace a lot of things too. So these things are like education that we have to learn. So it takes a lot of courage. And sometimes people say, "Oh, this person likes staying on their own." There's this particular guy from Brazil, from Africa, from Nigeria, from Guinea. They like staying on their own. I say no. It's not like they like staying on their own. You have to show acceptance for people. You have to let people know, like, if I come to your office for the first time and you're an employer, I come to you, I wouldn't be able to be free for the first time until you show me that you have accepted me. And acceptance sometimes is kindness, simple acts of like, I mean, inclusivity. I mean, including people in conversations and so certain things that happen in the workplace and all of that. So these things are some things that, I mean, we can literally look at. So if you're out there watching this and probably you know one or two immigrants, give them a phone call. Call them on the phone. Say hi to them. They are not strange people. Some of them don't speak English as their first language. I think you talked about
Actually, I was going to dive into that actually because the one thing that I feel like some people that come here, like I think Nigeria and Kenya, some as well, Philippines, Ghana, like other countries who actually have the privilege of learning English is a skill already itself. Because, no, seriously, because it's because if you're coming to Australia, you have English, like you can talk English. Yes, you in your mind you might think, oh, it's my accent, like other can understand me. But believe me or not, we can understand you. Yeah, you have an accent, that's all right. But coming from people from South America, like you said, Brazil, South America itself, in Central America, if you want to come from there to Australia, it's a lot harder. I will tell you a story. For example, my parents, when they first migrated here, God knows, I think 30 something years ago, right? Coming here not knowing no English, that's harder. Do you know what I mean? And my dad, I remember he told me the story. He learned one sentence to get a job.
What?
So he'll go, So back in the day, there was a factory here in South Australia, and they used to make tires, Bridgestone. So my dad will actually go to my auntie and say, oh, teach me how to say, I want a job. I need a job. So that's all he learned. I need a job. I have family. I need work. That's what he said. That's all he knew. I need a job. I have family. So we go there every single day to that factory until to the point they're like, all right, we're hiring him. Right? So then when my dad went into the factory, in that time, the racism was really high because they didn't like, you know what I mean? It's the same repeat again. But in that time was worse because then you used to call my dad names, like really bad names. And you used to call him over, be like, oi, monkey you, come over. You know what I mean? But my dad didn't know.
And this is somebody with which skin color?
This is my dad with skin color, right?
Like normal white
Yeah,
skin
not
color.
like me, exactly like me.
Just imagine.
You know what I mean? Just imagine, it's not just Australians, or not I'm say Australians, but some people, they look at you and they already judge, okay, you're an immigrant. Even happened to me, bro. I am born here, born and raised here.
Wow.
Even though I'm Australian citizen.
You need to look at the camera and say, this is.
I'm Australian citizen. I've had multiple moments that people did not accept me too, thinking that I don't know like English or anything. You know what I mean?
You know what I want to inject before you continue? Because most people always think that you just have to be this color to experience what you say.
No, it's not. It's just everyone. Not even just Africans. It can be Asians as well. It can be Italians. It could be Greeks, South Americans, this and that. But bro, I'm telling you, I'll tell you one thing I just want to because I know your audience will listen. When I went to go renew my passport, this is in 2020. I went to renew it because I lost my passport.
2020, wow.
And that's not long ago, 5 years ago, right? Lost passport. I called. There's a phone call, there's a number that you call about the passport. So when I went there, I said to them, what do I need to do to renew my passport? Because I said, I'm born here.
Yes.
I don't have a citizenship number.
Yes.
The lady said on the phone, your birth certificate shows your citizenship. That's all you need to bring in. It's beautiful. I wanted to go and get my birth certificate, everything. Go to the Australian Post, all right, just to renew my passport. And the one thing that the lady said, what's your citizenship number? I said, I don't have one. My birth certificate shows my citizenship.
Okay.
Oh, but doesn't matter if you're born here, doesn't mean that you're Australian. I'm like, so what I said, what do you mean? He's like, is your parents' citizenship? No, they're both permanent
resident,
permanent residents. And she says, which one? Asking me all these questions. And I said, look, ma'am, both of my parents are citizenship. I was born here in 1994. I'm Australian. I've renewed my passport multiple times. And she kept repeating, even though if you're born here, it doesn't make you Australian, straight away Australian citizen. Keep repeating it, keep repeating it.
Yes.
And I'm going to the point like, what's going on here? So then she says, do you have an old passport? So I go and get my old passport. I grabbed it. I threw it into the table. I said, is that much proof to you that I'm Australian? So it's not just you. Like I also wanted to say, it's not just dark-skinned people or anything like that.
Yes, yes.
A lot of that had the first time that I've actually felt not part of Australia.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
So Australians won't only just pick on what you look like.
Nah.
It's just even me. It's not about the skin color, bro. It's even about the way we look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And back to the story of my old man, coming into a country, he learned English the hard way. He speaks English good now, and my mother as well. My mother as well had to learn to speak English by listening. Do you know what I mean?
So
by people are telling him, oh, this is how you say it. This is how you say it. This is how you say it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and my dad in the factory, he had other Chileans near him teaching him some words here and there. So it is, you guys have privilege of coming here to able to communicate and find a work. But can you imagine coming to a country that you won't be able to speak the language and you try to find work and you don't know what people are saying and you're trying to learn and this and that. So in that way, you guys are privileged when it comes to speaking English.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I understand where you guys are coming from when it comes to not feeling accepted in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah, so and per se, let's like one of the things I like to put across there is that these things we're saying here, you're watching, it's not like it's a general thing. This is some of the things that we have noticed and have seen while being here. And it's more than anything else, if you want to know what Australia looks like, it's a very great nation.
Oh, it's a beautiful country,
I want you
man.
to know it's a beautiful country. And I can boast about it because I know that I have my brother here. And you can see how we're looking.
Hey, man.
Yeah, so, apart from that fact, I wanted to also put in a word that we're hardworking people.
Oh yeah, bro, I can 100% back you up on that because I've seen a lot of Africans who work multiple jobs back to back to back to back to back for 2 weeks, bro. That would drive me crazy. 2 weeks, bro. 2 weeks, morning, afternoon, and night shift, and I'm like,
what's happening here?
What's going on here? And then like that's perfect to bring up because the reason why it's perfect to bring up because people believe that the government funds like a lot of immigrants and all of that. No, they don't. And I'm a person I've seen it with my own two eyes. People coming in from another shift and I can see how tired they are. Why are you working so hard? I need to. I have to pay this. I have to do that. I have to pay my student loans, or I'm trying to buy a house. So you guys are very hardworking. Like immigrants are very hardworking, really are. It's crazy how like some people can start thinking of different things to make it seem like they got it easy.
So, yeah, like sometimes I mean there was this protest that happened some time ago, and there was a lot of bias with it. But one of the things that I just saw I heard people saying online was like, most people come here and they just like take over the sectalic system. They just enjoy and they don't do anything. They just come here, they take a lot of things, including their money and all of that. But it's not entirely true. You know what I mean? Because if you look at it grossly, this from different countries, you see that immigrants work really hard. They work the hours. Some of them don't. Some of us here, we don't really have a life again. It's all we just work and work and work. And of course, it's later on you start seeing them trying to balance things here and there because you don't expect somebody who moved to another country to just find balance immediately. It takes a lot of time, and take that a lot of time include trying to settle up a lot of things so that you can even give your kids
something,
your family something, and they can have a good life and they can balance, sort of that. So it comes with that as well. Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to ask you is, was it the hardest part about saying goodbye?
Oh my God.
I told you I was ready. I was ready with these questions, bro.
Oh my God. That's so emotional because it's like leaving everything you built. Just think about it. Leaving everything you built. People see that attractive in your country. People say you're like this person has really got into the top echelon of their career, and you left everything and you come to another country and you start afresh. Like afresh, I mean, is you start way afresh, and you're just thinking, how, like, I mean, did I make a do you know the first time I was on the plane coming to Australia,
Yeah, how was like that, man? What was going through
I
your
was going
mind?
through my mind if I made a mistake.
Wow.
Yes, I asked myself, did I make it? Yeah, because it's like you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know who you're meeting here. You don't know anything about this place much apart from the information you have. You don't have the reality of what that this place looks like. You only know I know about this place and all of that. That's good. You only have facts. But what if those facts were not really true and all of that? What if you came and you met the wrong people and all of that? As I said, so it's saying goodbye to what you know, to the from moving from the known to the unknown is something courageous, painful. Let me tell you the truth. There was a time that I I woke up one day, and then I was looking for still applying for jobs, and I was walking within the street. Come on, I was still new to Australia. No car, nothing. Just walking through the street using the bus system. You understand? Jumping the
That's
bus.
hard.
Yeah. You didn't know I didn't know any place. So when they give me address to come for an interview, I'm looking at the address and I'm looking at how many buses will I jump to even get there.
Wow.
And then you not think about like, okay, like you're getting there and you're thinking about like back home, you're sitting in an office, man.
Yeah.
You're sitting in an office and you have people that are called to you and you're heading some facility like as a medical lab scientist. I literally started up a diagnostic center with my partners. Think about that. It was like having people that were calling you like,
Wow.
like the boss.
Wow.
Sort of thing.
So it's like coming from coming from a different part of the world that you have everything established, you know the system there,
everything.
everything, and then you come into another part of the
You
world
have
and
your
you
house, everything.
and you're starting at scratch again.
Scratch again.
That's hard. That's hard. That kind of reminds me of my dad, to be honest, because him coming from what he knew, what he knows, the life there, and you coming from a different part of the world, and the life here is different. What was it like when you came here? Did you find the world, like the life here, fast paced, or did you find it very like, you know what I mean? Like, was it different to back how it was in Nigeria?
Yeah, it's very different. The only place that I visited in Australia that looks a bit like, first of all, the weather,
Oh, yeah.
messed me up. It
Oh,
messed me
yeah.
up because I'm coming from a tropical region where we have just two seasons in Nigeria: rainy season and dry season. Here we have almost 4 or 5. Spring, this, that. Those ones are things I had to experience. I heard about them, but I had to experience them. So I came during winter. I was wearing like 4 to 5 clothes, man. I'm not joking. Everybody does that. Everybody does that.
I understand. It can get very cold here. It's very cold.
In fact, if you want to know people that are new to Australia right now, and you go somewhere, you see somebody wearing like multiple clothes, watch them well, and just ask them literally, brother, are you are you new or something? You're gonna hear, oh, I'm new, and like I'm telling you. So the weather was different. The people were different. Sometimes you come into a room where you just see everybody different and you're the only color there. It's a lot of courage. That's why sometimes I tell people, even on different platforms, I always say, when you see people, like literally, if you are good enough and you believe you're kind, you want to be kind, you reach out to them. Don't because imagine I've told one of my friends, he's an Aussie as well, and he said, I always tell him, bro, one day imagine yourself going to Africa, a place where you are like your color is different.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Think about that. Think about how you feel. There are many things you're gonna feel in a minute, in a bit. So that's how most of us also are here and everything. But I'm really grateful because today, I mean, education and some fantastic people, some fantastic Aussies we have around.
Yeah, Australia is very good. And the thing is, in here in Australia is good because you came in a good moment where immigration and there's a lot of different nationalities, and then there's gone to the point that like Aussies have accepted it.
Yes.
So, there are some Aussies that are still in the old ways, which is you can't change people's minds.
Struggling.
But there are some people that are really like open to culture, which is really good. But they're like the protest the other day, like the other time,
Yeah.
and how everything, not just here, I remember everything around the
Everywhere,
world.
yes, yeah.
There was protests against immigration and stuff like that. And this is the reason why we're having this podcast, because we want to make sure that people could understand where an immigrant can coming from, and then so they can understand why they are coming here. The leaders are sending out messages for help. Like you said, doctors, medical,
Yeah, of course.
South America, engineers, mining. You know what I mean? Different parts of
skills,
the world have skills that we need, and
Yeah.
some Aussies here or some people who live here don't want to do those skills. So if you think about it in the politics way, you have to ask for help. I'll put, for example, like Japan, when they first found Japan needed help to build their city. They didn't have power. They didn't have trains or anything. So they had to call parts of America, parts from Netherlands, parts from Germany, parts from England to help them build the city up. That's historical. So it's the same thing happening now, but this time it's not about building the city, it's about needing help. There's probably not, like you said, there's not enough people driving trucks. Some parts of the world, they drive trucks. They need them to come here to have more trucks.
True.
Some people here don't want to do that.
Currently, we have constructions going
Construction,
on.
lowers
So
construction.
lots of need for construction workers. If you go to the immigration website now, you're gonna see it. They're looking for construction workers.
And I do 100% agree, because here in Australia, they've gone to the point now they're going to give out free lessons in TAFE to learn a new skill.
To attract that, yeah.
But the thing is making it hard now. I'm not going to pick on social media, but there's some people brainwashing people saying, oh, you don't need to work, you can earn 6 figures doing this and that, which is good and all. But now when it comes to the actual economy, it's dropping because we need construction, we need this, we need that. Vice versa, with the train line, you need an engineer for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I like what they're putting out here, because at least if the younger ones that are coming up are hearing this, they would understand that what's really built their parents, what really built dad, mom, and all of that was that they had a skill and they offer out their services and they were paid for that. But they had a skill, because nowadays people, especially these younger ones out there, there's this, just as you said, there's this notion of just stay. In America, we have different ones they enjoy there. In the UK, they have their own different one, all the social security stuff and all of that. In Australia, we have Centrelink and all of that. There's no problem with that. If you're not opportune to have a job and all of that, we understand that. But when you have the 2 legs and 2 hands, and you think you have what it takes, and you're able to get a job, get skilled, even start a business, become an entrepreneur or something. I mean, go for it.
100%.
Go for it.
100%.
Because this mindset, people brainwashing people all about, doing certain things, none of that. It's not something I love what you said, because it's to encourage the young people out there. It's to encourage the youth out there so that they can make the right choices.
Yeah, exactly.
Knowing that having a skill is something that is fancy. It is not something that is boring.
No.
You know what I mean? So, dignity of labor, going to work, having your own business, running it, making money in the right way.
Learning that skill. Yeah, exactly. Learning that skill, using it to advantage.
Yeah, these are things that matter. And I'm telling you, there's nothing as fulfilled as that.
That's 100% true. Yeah. What you're saying there is 100% true. Like, the things when I used to, bro, my resume goes crazy. I'm telling you, my resume is crazy. I remember, bro, I'm telling you, like,
tell me about it.
When I was 18, I went to do aged care for 4 years. And from aged care, I did warehouse.
Wow.
After warehouse, I worked in the office.
Wow.
And then I did civil.
Wow.
And then I did concreting. And then I did traffic control.
Wow.
And then I did NDIS.
Wow.
And then I'm doing youth work.
Wow.
But that's a skill. That's skills.
That's like almost how many industries you've been to?
That's a lot. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 7 to 8.
Now look at that. This is, most people say there are no opportunities here.
Oh, there's opportunities.
There's lots of opportunities when people present. Okay, the other day they advertise for hospitality industry and say, we need people. Just come learn. We're going to be incentive free, but you're going to get a skill and start working.
But you can, in that industry, you can learn how the restaurant works, how everything works, and then you can grab that skill and go and open up your own restaurant. Yeah. And you know how to get the chefs, you know how to pay the waitresses and this and that. You know how much food takes. It's true what you say.
Yeah.
It's a skill that you can learn. And then, like you said, like parts of the world need those help.
Opportunities, yeah.
That's something that people need to learn. But one thing I wanted to ask, what was the hardest emotional part of starting over? Oh, that's a good one.
To be honest, the emotional part is most people don't know that you're educated. Most people look at you and they feel like, oh, you just had certificate for that you just obtained in Australia. But meanwhile, you have a bachelor's. You went to a medical school. You did a 5 years, and you studied and you awarded that program. And then you come here, and there's some certain certifications that you may be needing, and then you're going back to get them in school. You know what I mean?
And do the everything again.
And do everything again. And then somebody's looking at you, and there's no way you can talk. Sometimes you can't talk to them. You don't have opportunity to let them know that. Say, the fact that I'm doing this thing does not really mean that I don't have a lot of things. So there's this like, will I say, this mindset out there when they say, they're like, oh, is that African? Probably just they don't have much. They just certificates and everything. But let me not say this here, and I know many Aussies nowadays, and most Africans are just like South Americans, just like you, are heavily educated.
Yes.
Some of them, it's hard to even see ones that don't have master's degree. You know what it means? That means like the person have done bachelor's, went through school 4 years, bachelor's degree, accepted around the world, and then have opportunity to do a master's program. So most Africans, if you're watching this right now, most Africans are really, really educated. Not just Africans, most of the immigrants you're saying, they are really, really educated beyond what you think. So if somebody is doing a certain job that requires certain licenses or certifications, they need to get it. That doesn't mean that they don't have something bigger than that. Just because maybe if you're doing accounting in your bachelor's and you want to do something probably in hospitality, no, you have to go somewhere and get do that certificate, maybe a 5 months or 6 months or 1 year program to get a diploma in that in something that have to do with hospitality, and then you're coming in. So the fact that you're doing that does not mean you don't have a bachelor somewhere. Does not mean you haven't been educated somewhere just because you want to change industry. And that's one of the beautiful things about Australia.
And I 100% agree because I have my cousin-in-law, for example, he works at the airport, but he does like big things at the airport.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And him coming over here, he has to, like you said, you have to do certain certificates and certain studies to continue on what you've learned in another country to apply it here. Because maybe he is different. I don't know why. Maybe Australia, maybe like other parts of the world say, now it has to be like American way or English way
Yes.
or Australian
Yes.
way. I'm guessing. But for example, he was that kind of person. He knew when the flights were coming. He would direct the flights. He's the guy that pushes the plane out. Yada yada. He did all big things. He loves the airport. But now he's studying here to do things so he can continue on what he did there and do it here. And that's the thing people need to understand that, like you said, there's skills that like some parts of the world need. And you guys, when immigrants come here, it's not like, oh, they come here and they get a job. No, you come here, yeah, but you have to study doing this. And there's another mate of mine who is I think he's a chemical engineer or something engineering. And he would have to study in uni to continue on that thing that he learnt where he's from. You know what I mean? And it's hard because imagine you doing that and you're doing another job and you're studying, you got kids. It's hard.
So
I've seen it with mine too. I've seen people do it.
So from what you're saying, let me add this because that's everything we're saying. One of the things that I'm not just saying this just for Australia, I'm saying this for all around the world. If you're an immigrant somewhere, whether you're a citizen now, that's fine. But what I'm trying to say is that when people move from one place to another, even if you're moving from one city to another, there's what we call social integration.
Yes.
So you need to be able to accept the culture of the people, not just accepting it because you don't want to practice it, but being able to have an idea, knowledge of the culture, knowledge of most things there. And it takes time. Understand how people greet there, what the kind of food they eat, how they live their life there, how they work policies, tax system. It's called social integration, how people talk and all of that. These things are things that it can take, most people's social integration duration can take 3 years, some 2 years, some 1 year. That's why sometimes people sit there and when they speak, you can't hear them clearly. Not because they haven't learned how to speak properly, but because everybody have their own strengths. But this is something that we need to understand. And also to the other people out there that also like maybe you're an Australian, you're Aboriginal and all of that, and this is your place and everything. It's something you need to understand that it takes time for people when they travel, when they move from one country to another, to actually settling. Settling does not happen in a day. Somebody can say, I just came to Australia for 2 years. 2 years, they are 2 years here or 3 years here. It does not mean that they have really settled it. So you don't expect them to know a lot of things. Some of them, some food can stipulate a shock for them. Some
Yeah,
drinks,
no, that's no, 100%, 100%. Like like I said, a lot of people like you said, when you came here, you couldn't. When you see a tomato, you're like, yeah, you cooked the tomato, but you never thought you can eat the tomato. You know what I mean? It's like I said, my cousin-in-law in Philippines, where he's from, the avocado itself, right? He thinks it's as a dessert, so he makes it into a smoothie. Like I made an avocado, but I did avocado on toast with some olive oil and salt, and he's like, avocado can be savory. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's funny because even food itself, like, what's this? What's that? But it's one of those things. If you're open to try new things, you'd be like, wow, I never thought about this. You know what I mean? But since you're talking about the Aboriginals and Australians, and this is the country and stuff like that, it's hard you know what I mean? It's hard for them to understand because they never migrated to a new place.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then what I'll put, for example, is like for them going from here and going to France and not knowing the language. Imagine that. Going to France and not speaking French. I've been to France. They don't like speaking English. You have to speak French there. Can you imagine if you're going to go there and you speak another language and the French would actually be like, no, we speak French here. You know what I mean? That's what I like to put it as for them. But some people don't want to. They don't understand.
No.
They will never understand unless they go and migrate and live in another country and understand where immigrants coming from.
So that is why statistics, if you check so many Aussies who travel around a lot, if you check the statistics, you will see that most of them that have traveled, because travel didn't show you around the world. Sometimes when people are talking, the first thing I ask them is, actually when they say to you, are you not African? I say, I'm not African. I'm Nigerian, and African is a continent. You understand? Even if I'm Australian, but like my country of origin is African, for instance. Do you know what happens? They're shocked. And the first thing I ask them is, have you traveled before? Have you left Australia before? Oh, I go to Bali. I say, no. I mean, have you really traveled just for a trip to go to Europe, go to some places? And they say no. But I realized that the people who actually have lived in other places, traveled to other countries, been to many other countries, most of them understand they understand how to relate with immigrant easily because they have seen the world in a different way.
Yes.
Do you understand?
Yes.
So when people tell me, "Oh, have you left Adelaide before?" they haven't left South Australia.
I know, man. I've talked to a lot of people like that.
Jeez.
I remember when I used to work in aged care and used to talk to a lot of elderly people. Some of them had amazing stories. Some of them never left South Australia. And it's true. I said to them, "Oh, I'm going to." I think I was telling them I'm going to Philippines. Oh, where's that? Oh, I was explaining exactly where it is. Exactly where the country is.
Yes.
They're like, I've never left South Australia. I'm like, have you been to Melbourne? No, I've never went to Victoria.
Wow.
That there says a lot, man. So it just says that they're too comfortable enough to stay. They don't want nothing new. They don't want to go try new experiences. They don't want to go see the world. And I highly suggest a lot of people, not just everyone around the world,
Yes.
go travel.
Yes.
Why? Because for me, when I went to travel, it opens your eyes a lot.
A lot.
One thing that opened my eyes a lot is when I went to Bali for the second time with my wife and mother-in-law. We went to a restaurant, we did a tour. The one thing that got to me and made me very humble is when I saw 3 little 4-year-olds selling bracelets so they can bring that back to their house. Imagine a 4-year-old is meant to be sitting and watching TV and drinking his little juice and whatever. Imagine a little 4-year-old working, sitting outside the restaurant and saying, bye. So what we all did, we just gave him money. We're like, no, just take the money and just fine. So some people need to understand that what people have and they have to be privileged with what the life that they have.
Big privilege.
You know, when I hear people complaining about, oh, the cost of living is too much, you're blessed enough to have a house. You're blessed enough to eat. You're blessed enough to have a shower, everything, toilet, everything. Some people don't have toilets. Some people don't have food. Some people are sending their kids out who are like just walking, little kids walking, selling food and selling this. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to travel, it opens your eyes a lot.
It opens your eyes. I mean, sometimes I tell people, so just give Africa a chance and travel to one of the countries in Africa.
Yeah, you learn a lot from them.
You would become very, very, you'll become very, very emotional when you see some set of things, and you'll become very, very grateful for what you really have. And what you said, traveling it gives you life exposure. So it makes you more. That's why I say most Aussies that travel, I've realized statistically saying, there's most of them, they are quite tolerant. They are generally acceptable. Like people that eat some of the African food sometimes.
Yes.
They say, wow, do you have swallow? Do you have egusi soup? And you're like, where'd you learn those things? You're like, oh, I learned it from this, I learned it from that. When I traveled to this place, and you're like, wow, chapati and all of that. So people start accepting things because traveling gives you a lot of exposure. And I mean, if you're watching this, you need to start saving up some money to travel.
Go check the world.
We're not advertising any traveling agency at the moment.
We're sponsored by Travel SA.
But but I mean, you could give it a try. It's something that would help you a lot.
I wanted to ask you actually, and I wanted to ask you, say, do you ever feel like you live between two worlds? That's a good one, actually. That's a good one. Because, you coming from another part of the world, living majority of your life, then coming to another part of the world. Does it feel like you lived in two different worlds?
Yes, of course. Because there are some cultural values you have. Before I started coming here, I have cultural values. I had things that were working. I had the way our people did things. And then I'm here and also learn how they do things. It's just based on how I apply those things. And when for instance I have my kids, right? So sometimes you're trying to also let them balance these things, and that lets you not know that that there's something going on here, because you're trying to show them this part of these things we need to do this one, but this is also from where we're coming from. This is like the Igbo culture. I'm from the Igbo community, in Nigeria and all of that. So we have a way we greet. We have a way you see me wear my attire. The way I dress.
Yes.
So those things are like the way I dress and certain things. I dress like Aussie and I can see dress like that. These are in between two words. Same person. You understand? And the kind of also in my house, some of my kids they eat Aussie food.
Wow.
Yeah. We ate Aussie food. I know how to make a lot of Aussie because of that. Stir fry, all of that. Is there. My wife do a lot of that. So and broccoli and all of it. I also have African food we eat. Like the Nigerian kind of.
Yeah.
So you see that like you are like wondering what's happening here, because you have many things to balance and all of that. And some things you have to mix the things together, the culture together, and like just because you have to be tolerant, you have to now start tolerating things, you have to start learning in a bigger scale. Okay, I think this thing is not something that is not current now. Okay, this would work, this one will not. So you live in between that phase. You understand? So somebody said to me, let me tell you this story. I went to a party. I am my wife, and they said to us, "Oh, we're doing a party, and we're coming." Aussie party sometimes.
It was different. It's different.
I was shocked.
It's different, yeah.
And I didn't know that. Oh, you have to, come with whatever you want to eat, and whatever you want to drink.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I was shocked because in my country, and we still do it here. I have done a lot of events filled with most people, and most Aussies come to my event. When we're doing some party and everything or gatherings, maybe chat naming and all of that, we saying come, because in my country, when you organize such things, you don't need to tell people bring wine and bring your own food. We provide everything, and it's the joy of providing that, and you're happy, that gives us that fulfillment. Now, guess what? When I came to Australia, and even now, sometimes I'm sitting somewhere, we're sitting somewhere, and we see somebody, and we say, "Don't worry, we'll pay it for you." They start looking at us this way, like, "Why would you pay for my meal?" Like, for us, it's like an act of kindness.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Not because we have too much.
That's culture, though. That's the culture that a lot of.
Culture.
But it's you talking about that. It's the same in South America, bro. If we're gonna do a gathering for me, for example, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna do a barbecue, right? In South America, we do a barbecue. We
Yes.
call it el asado,
That's how. Okay.
right? So we're gonna do a barbecue. We're gonna supply everything. We're gonna the meats, the
Yes.
beers, everything.
Yes.
Yeah, you can bring like other sides. You can bring your salad, or you can bring this. You can bring that. Okay, that's fine. But I'm supplying majority of the things.
Yes.
Right. And like you said, when you go to an Aussie party, like, oh, make sure you bring your own thing
That's the
and your own
culture.
this and then this. That's their culture. But for example, like what you said,
Yes.
I completely relate because that's what we are. You come and you eat.
And,
And I want,
you're happy.
and I'm gonna buy a lot of food because the one
Yes.
thing I don't want is to run out.
Yes.
I want to have leftover food.
Yes. That's
You know what I
it.
mean? When
Yeah.
you put the music on and you know this and that, you're dancing or you're talking with your mates or
Yes.
whatever, right?
Yeah, that's when
Completely
to catch
relate,
up,
bro.
to laugh, yeah. So it was really that's the balance, you know, what's the question you asked. So these things just and it's because I understand that now. If I'm going to an Aussie event, I literally know I just eat well, I eat very well, and I just take wines with me. You know what I mean? With my wife, and we just see that because we know that okay, this is how it is. This is how it is.
Yeah.
So when they're coming for mine, they know I don't want you to bring anything with you. Just come, have. You're gonna see drinks everywhere.
Yeah, just come,
drink,
have fun.
eat, have fun with the family, and go home. That's my joy. I'm happy to see that everything is empty.
But you know, since you were talking about that, a lot of people, immigrants, even immigrants, listen, like we're all similar in so many ways.
Yes.
Africans, South Americans, Middle Eastern, they do
Yes.
the same thing. They all go to their house and have like barbecue, vice versa as well. We're all similar in so many ways.
Yes, yes.
Even you saying that, that already brought back memories of me as a kid. You know, everyone's there around the barbecue, and then you got the uncle, whoever is like just cooking, sharing. Here, I have to taste a little bit, and then the food's ready. You put it on the table, everyone's eating, having a good time. You know what I mean? Everyone's similar in so many ways, and that's why I keep telling like a lot of people because you know I get it when some people they especially with me they look at me as like oh you're like your skin color you're Australian.
Yes.
Actually, no, I'm not. We're very similar in many, many ways. Even you just saying that, I'm like, yep, I can relate.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we're all similar when it comes to family gatherings. And, you know, those family gatherings is beautiful because when you come there, you see your cousins, you see your aunties, you know.
That's time to catch up, yeah.
Time to catch up. But in some ways, there are some people who don't have that kind of beautiful experience of culture.
Yes.
That's there. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah, it's still the shock sometimes. Most of my Aussie friends and family friends, they come around and they're shocked. So the first time they're shocked, but the second time they're not used to it. They know that this is how it is being done. This is what it looks like for so many immigrants and all that. And that in an immigrant, like even as a Nigerian person, for instance, I don't want to go to this part, but I want to say this. If, like, for instance, if I'm single, I'm not single, I'm married, I can literally just see a lady buying something, and I'll just be like, don't worry, I'll pay for it. Now, it's in my culture, it's normal. It's like the way, like a woman, because women are well taken care of, just like in your culture. So you just want to help out to say, oh, don't worry, I'll pay for that. Just don't worry, go. And sometimes when you do it here, man, you may even get into trouble.
Yeah.
That's cultural. Do you understand? That's cultural. And sometimes you just say, okay, even as I am now, sometimes me and my wife will go somewhere and we're going with a group of other people and we are sitting down and then we're buying food. And we're like, okay, because I brought you guys here, don't pay anything. We'll pay for everything. They're like, no. It becomes like, what? They're looking at you like, is there anything you're up to or something? Well, you know what I mean? So, but these are cultural things that, I mean, come from. So I normally, if you're going to do this, take out time to explain yourself. Tell the person you're doing it for that this is you're part of your value system. That if you're an African or you're from South American or you're from, Asia, tell them that this is part of my value system.
Because my culture is who I am.
I'm buying this for you. There's no. I'm not looking for anything. This is just like my way of kindness. It's my expressivity of saying, I'm happy. I'm kind. I want to be good to you. That's it. Because sometimes when you do that and you don't really support this thing with this knowledge, some people think maybe you're trying to do some other things. You know what I mean? And can literally get into trouble. Hey. Be careful.
Be careful, honestly. Yeah.
It's important we continue to educate of our friends, and families. Because as long as we're here, we're all together.
We also look.
know.
Everyone's similar in so many ways, and we all got to learn to understand that we all have similar cultures. Everyone is exactly the same, and trying people's different types of dishes, it's amazing as well because you never thought. Like for example, if I try Nepal's food,
Nepal.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Napoleon, like say from
Yeah,
Nepal, like you'd be
even-
like, whoa, this is amazing.
Even Indian food.
You know what I mean? Indian food, or if
Masala
you
and all
like,
of that.
if you come to one day, if you come over, you try my like chili and barbecue, you'd be like, whoa,
What?
I never
Yeah.
thought the thought would be like this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's one of
yeah.
those beautiful things to experience culture, and I think Australia should be more. But they are open to culture. But the thing is, like,
Education.
when it comes to education of understanding where an immigrant's coming from, that's what we need to get them to understand.
People are not weird. They're not weird. Hey guys, so listen attentively. My brother here is the founder of Beyond Limits, and you need to tune in because you can see what's happening here. We're talking about important topics that would change your life, and especially if you're living abroad. Abroad means people living outside the country.
Oh yes,
So
of
if you're
course.
living abroad and like an immigrant or something, we're gonna be bringing in a lot of collaborations and all of that. And hey, if you want to also reach out to what we're doing, because this is the first episode, we're gonna have more and more. Even if you're not done yet, just click on the follow button, click on the subscribe button, go to Spotify, make sure you're watching this, make sure you're listening, and you're gonna get lots of service. And if you're not collaborator, of course, we're open to
100%.
send an email to him, follow him on Instagram,
Send a
check
message
what he's
out.
doing, and of course you're gonna hear it. All right, continue your
Yeah,
questions.
send a message out to make sure you have suss it out. But one thing I wanted to ask you, right? What does success or happiness mean to you now, since you come from a different country?
Oh my goodness, you are a genius, man. That question is something you need to ask.
I've told you, bro. Beyond limits, man. We have no limits.
My goodness. So living in a first world nation, Australia is a first world nation. There's something that comes with living in a first world nation. For somebody coming from a developing third world nation, like Africa, Nigeria, it's changed my ideology of life. Because what I'm saying, this is a very curious moment. Because there are certain things in Africa that literally we pray for. There's certain things I pray for. There's certain things I hope for. There's certain things that are so mystical that you're like, okay, it's gonna take a lot of things to make it happen. For instance, you look at this. Look up. This is electricity.
Yes.
Stable. Since I came to Australia, man, there's like in Africa lights go off and come. Sometimes it goes off.
Yeah.
I say, but it's not just Africa, many other places in the world. Since I've been here, it's constant electricity. I know somebody is like shocked right now. Wow. Yes, that's true. That's true. Go to Nigeria, go to some African countries. You don't have stable electricity like this. You don't have that. That's like a miracle.
No, you're right.
Now, those kind of things, security. I know we have pretty much issues with a little bit, but there are a lot of things happening in Africa that you pray when you go out, you're praying to come back safe.
I can relate.
Like going and coming in some parts of Africa, it's like grace. It's like God has just done a miracle. It's like a miracle going and coming back. Unlike what we have here. We know we have some issues here and there, but
Not that bad.
not that bad. These are some of them from place I'm coming from. There's some certain things I can wake up right now and there is no bias when it comes to even people employing you. People look at you for your skill, what you can offer, and they're giving you. Unlike where I'm coming from, bias is there. A lot of things are there. It's who is rich. Sons of the rich. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly what
Now,
you know you're talking about.
Why am I saying these parameters before I answer that question straight? Because it lets anybody listening to me, I know many of us feel this way. It makes many people listening to me to know that there is a lot of difference. So if I have these differences and I come into this place, won't success sounds different to me? Won't success look so different? So Australia, coming to Australia redefined the way I see life. So I started seeing life in a more easier way than before. So there were things that I can know that it's something that is just take your time and walk through because the system is in place.
That's an amazing.
The system is in place and it's helping you. And then you're educated, you're growing. And let me say this here, most people don't know this. The moment you come down to a country like this, you are automatically going to be educated, whether you like it or not. The system just have a way of making sure that you know things. You won't even know you're knowing things, but you're learning. So that's why some people, they can be crazy sometimes from where they're coming from, and they come here. they're quiet. They start they start working, they start making money, they start thinking about their because everybody that's how it is here. So for me, success right now is not in the acquisition of a whole lot of things and all of that. No, success for me right now is more like having family together. Everybody is we have at least enough that we can eat. We have a roof over our head, and we can just get anything we want where we want there.
And that what you said there was amazing. Honestly,
That's
such a really good like part of coming from another country and then seeing things and able to be blessed enough to have the smallest things. And people who live in the Western society should understand that you should be blessed enough to have, like you said, even power, bro. Like you said, power cuts in and out.
People
It's
don't
true.
understand.
Like third world, there are some third world countries that randomly power gets out.
You don't see power for 3 days, man.
And then you get people complaining, like, or posting on social media and then saying, like, oh, why is the power out? Blah, 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 blah. And then you got people training you straight away.
Some people don't
SA
have
Power.
water.
Yeah, people don't have water. SA Power Networks will come straight away, fix the problem. I'm guessing in third world countries, it takes their time.
What?
You know what I mean?
Some people don't even have light for like days.
Exactly. So exactly. They have no lights for days. And you're 100% right. But back in South America, if you want hot water, we have hot water system, but only the people who have money can afford a hot water system. You know what I mean? And then there are some, like you have a hot water system, but you have to turn on the hot water with the gas. You got a big, massive gas thing and you turn it on and then you put it on. If you run out of hot water, if we run out of gas, there's no hot water. It's not like here, I have unlimited gas to have hot water.
So it's for a reason. If you check the categorization of countries and everything into first world nations, second world nations, developing nations, you'll see that there are some certain things some countries have settled already. The power, GDP, economic power, defense, and all of that. But let me say this here: do you know that in some African countries, even my country, there's some cars that are way back 10 years that people celebrate that they're driving.
In Cuba, they have that.
When I was coming here, I had people drive Mercedes 2019 and they're like kings. That's what they feel like in Africa. 2019,
Wow.
2020. Meanwhile, like if you're doing 2020, you're off the roof.
Really?
Yeah. Meanwhile, here people are driving like 2020, 2025, 2024, 2022.
The latest ones.
We're talking about latest. When cars are coming out, we're looking at, okay, which one is coming next? Tesla is producing, people are buying it, different products, Toyota, Hyundai, just because I mentioned Tesla, I have to mention other ones. Mazda and all of that.
All of them.
Holding, all of them. No, they're just out there. Mitsubishi. So these are different cars. But what I'm trying to say is that when you're coming from like Africa, because I'm come from there, these cars are things that like in Nigeria, for instance, people buy like Mercedes 2020. Man, they're top of the town.
Wow.
They're the king. Oh my God. If you see how they drive, ooh, it's like they're like, ooh, I'm telling you, they celebrate it. Meanwhile, somebody here who is just a normal person, not even doing much, just drives that comfortably, like not even 2020. We're talking about 2023, 2024 cars. That's what you see here. And they evolve, they fade out with time. It's hard to see somebody driving something of 2000, 2001, 2002, even 2004. Why you see all those cars there?
No, you're 100% right. And what you said there is amazing because in Cuba, that's what they have the oldest cars, bro, back in the 70s. 70s, bro, but they still look after them and still drive them.
So success, when you talked about that, success changes the moment, for me personally, because that question you asked me, it changed when I came here. The way I saw life, where I come from, you have to wear bling bling.
To show your wealth.
In Nigeria, you have to wear bling bling. That's why sometimes people are talking to me and I've been to the UK, visited once, and I say, I've been to a few times, Canada. I'll be visiting there soon, and I say, because I have siblings there, they tell me a lot. And I say, Australia have the most conservative people on earth.
Wow.
Yeah. Australia, you're gonna see people who have money, who are rich, who are wealthy, but they just wear. Someone like look how you dress sometimes. They wear shorts, and they wear slippers, and they're just going their way.
That's this. You know what? Since you said there's a difference between rich and want to be rich.
Yeah.
A rich knows what's worth and what's not worth. A want to be rich wants to show off that they just made it.
That is, in Africa, it's something that's in like in Nigeria, for instance. Ghana, some African countries. That's what you see. People with the little money they're making, something like whatever it is, whether hefty or what, whether they're built, I don't get. You're gonna see it in their dressing. It's one of the things you see. Oh, blinks, this. So I'm coming from there and I come here. I'm trying to look. Oh, what kind of phone is this person using? I'm like, come on, like iPhone is normal thing here.
Yeah, it's just whatever.
Back in those kind of in Nigeria, iPhone like 17, not right now. If you're using it, you are a boss.
Fair
You are
enough.
like next level. But you know what? Over here, it's normal thing.
Everyone has iPhones.
Nobody cares about you. Like this is something like people can throw up and just match over there
And go and get another one.
and go get another one, for instance. But over there is different. So
No, you are right. You
so
are right.
a lot of things. People dress big. They dress this. Meanwhile, some of us, we over here, we just wear brands and we don't make noise about it, and it's normal. Nigga, you just go your way. It doesn't change who you are. People dress politely casual in Australia, politely casual, but they're wealthy and rich. When they speak, you hear things. You're like, wow, they're very knowledgeable, not puffed up and everything. So it's different. Wanna be, as you said, in Africa, a lot of that.
But that's a lot of that in other parts of third world countries.
Yes.
Because there's, for example, if I go back to my country, they think that I have easy life here. But when I explain to them the hours and the
Yes.
pay
Yes.
and the supervisors
Yes.
and the managers and all of
Yes.
that, they're like, oh, that's a different story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not it's like, okay, Australia's good when it comes to opportunities and everything else, Australia's good. But as well, you have to put in the work. And
Yeah,
that's the thing
have
that
to.
people as well, if other part of the world, if you're watching, if you're listening, you have to understand, yes, the first world country is a lot of good opportunities
Established.
and everything.
Yes.
But the thing is, you can't just expect everything. You
Yeah.
have to work for it.
Yeah.
So it's harder. It's hard, but not as hard,
So,
if that makes sense.
Yes. So let's throw in the balance. Let's throw in the balance because we're empathetic here. Now, we understand also that in those certain countries, we know that they can have a problem with leadership. They have problem with leadership. So leadership can be maybe poor infrastructures and all of that. So some of them don't have the opportunity that we have here. You know what I mean? So it's different. We're just trying to balance. So, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to say that if you ask somebody who comes here what success means, it's different.
Yeah, exactly.
It can never be the same. If you're migrating or planning to migrate, whether you're in the US, any country, and you might ask an immigrant about this one, what he asked me, your success, what you define as success changes. Because there are some things right now that you used to pray for. That's what you mean. You used to pray for them. And you come over here, these are things that are literally social amenities, basic needs of life, provided without ease, free of charge. What do you talk about there? So it's quite different. It's really different. I'm talking because I feel what I'm saying. So you begin to see life from a different perspective. You become more kind. There's some things you won't even bother about. What, where, what not. You don't need to even prove anything to anybody, whether you're a success or not, as people want to prove in Africa. So things are quite different.
It's amazing, man. That's amazing. Wow. That's just, wow. Wow. I got another question for you.
Yeah.
What was the biggest lesson that you've learned through this journey?
Okay.
Hey, that's another one. I'm
Wow.
coming out with these questions, brother.
Yeah. The biggest lesson I've learned as a person is valuing people.
Yeah, that's right.
Valuing people, really open to being teachable, open to learn. Because that is another thing that changed my life here. Because I'm always open to learn. No matter what you're doing, I want to learn. Because it is that learning that has brought me really far where I am right now in this place. But that being open to learn is something that I have been able to hold on to. Being teachable, that's good. The first time we met, we were talking. I didn't even know that you're looking for me or whatever. That kind of position you see me putting myself, it keeps me humble. Literally, nothing gets into my head. Because I'm looking at you, I'm saying, I need to learn something from this guy. I'm not looking at you and saying, I'm better than this guy. I think I'm good. No, to be honest.
You're the first person I ever met that actually did not have a big head. I've met a lot of people in my life, but every single person that I've met has a big head.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
And you actually humbling yourself to not let something like the platform overbuild your mind. I've had a lot of people, I even have family members who have big heads. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And having a big head, there's bad in your own person, because you have to remember where you come from.
You always.
Always remember where you come from, because some people forget, bro. And that's the issue that they have. When they start forgetting, they start losing themselves.
Completely.
That's not
Completely.
good.
So for me, that is one of my biggest, virtues, that I hold on to a lot, and I thank God because it has actually kept me going, even as I'm talking to you, even as we're doing this right now. I'm in real time listening to what you're saying, and I'm learning,
Yes,
and I'm
yes.
like, oh wow, because that's just it changes the way you, if you're watching this, and you want to see how your life changes easily. Try to see yourself as a life learner. When you see people, don't think, oh, I'm better than this person. How much does he have? This, that. Does it? Oh, which influence? Where are they coming from? No, no, no. Ask questions like, what can I learn from him? Who is this person? He's an amazing person. This person was created by God. So, like, you want to learn. It will change. When they're talking, look into their eyes. Hear what they're saying. It will change your life forever. I'm telling you the truth. And it will keep you, like, really humble. Humility is not something you buy in the market. It's a lifestyle. And it comes with it. It's a virtue. And it's not normal one. All right? So this is just what I want to say.
No, that's 100% right. Because when we first talked, and then when I told you where I'm from and stuff like that, you're like, wow, I never thought, you know what I mean? Like, especially when you said skin color and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, 100%. I'm South American. You're like,
yeah.
well, never thought that, you know what I mean? When I
Yes.
told you, for example, in South America, if all the Latinos are watching can agree with me, in South America, we have the rainbow skin. And I told you, like, we can go very light,
Yes.
we can go very dark,
Yes, I was so shocked.
very brown. And I showed you like family members. You're like, wow, I never thought that he can be so like, you know what I mean? Light skin. Bro, there's some Latinos that are
Yes.
full on look Australian, like white,
Yes.
green eyes, ginger.
Yes.
When they start talking, you're like, what? That's
Yes.
the amazing thing about in South America. That's the reason why for me, when I look at you, I don't look at you as your skin color. I look
Yes.
as in who you are. So in South America, we're so used to having skin colors.
Yes.
You know, we don't really care. Like, oh, he's dark skin. Okay, cool. Oh, he's light skin. Okay, cool. So that's the reason we don't really judge with the people like with come skin colors and this and that. Maybe there still is, like maybe there are some or are not, but reality of it coming from culture of being Latin American,
Yes.
we do not judge people by skin colors, bro. And I can say that with my chest up 100%.
Yes.
But I wanted to ask you, what do you wish people understand better about immigrants?
Immigrants. Right. Thank you for that. I want people to understand that immigrants, that they have a life. Life, I mean, is that before they came here, that they already have a life.
Mm.
So it's not because they came here that the life started. So that these immigrants come with lots of stuff. They're educated, and they come a long way. And then second part is that now they are here, they are now relearning things, and
That's
it takes
hard.
a lot of times.
That's hard.
So it's hard. So when you see, just as I said earlier on, so when you see an immigrant, the way I don't know what they have told you or what you've listened to or what have brainwashed people, but I'm trying to let you know you can decolorize your canvas, the canvas of your mind, and you can begin to see what I'm saying. That this person you're saying that looks like he likes isolating himself, she doesn't like talking to people, is some of them come from this what they call trauma that comes from immigration. You
Yeah.
travel here, so you feel so isolated. So we don't have families here. Some of us don't have parents here.
Yes, that's
Came here on our own.
100% true.
I know a couple of people right now. They're just still single. They don't have wives. They're just on their own. So the only thing we can do, and I want you to know, is to send and lend a hand of hope, and lend a hand of kindness. Teach them. The first time I went to eat breakfast with my wife, we didn't know certain particular stuffs. My wife, she's living in the Ukraine and all of that. But I mean, there's some certain food in the recipe we didn't know, and we looked at it and we asked questions. And these people were willing to help and say, okay, this one comes with this, something flowing egg or whatever.
Oh, egg Benedict, you mean? Yeah, the egg Benedict. Yeah.
What is this? and she said, this is how it looks like. Oh, she opened her, and we're like, okay, thank you. So if you're in that position, try to help. I myself, I've been here for some time. So when I see people who just immigrated, I don't care whether they're Indians coming from different people. All of us are together. What I do is I take my time out and I teach them what it looks like, how to use this, what it does. And I'm quiet and I tell them this, what to do. And it's so easy, so happy to do. And that's what we can do. Yeah.
I
that's
love
what we
that,
can do.
man. I love that. Help each other out and then understand where people coming from, because they're not used to a certain type of like food and they don't know what it is. I love that really, really well. That's a really good one. I got another. Also, this is the next one. What's something that you kept? It kept you strong during the tough times, because coming from another country, it is tough. And then sometimes I have had friends that say they want to go back home. They've had enough. They're not used to the world, the life here. They've done what they can. Nothing's happening. They move on. But for you as a person, we have had conversation, and I'm guessing you're gonna say trust in God, right? I knew you're gonna say that.
It's difficult. My most challenging times has been times when you were being misunderstood.
Yeah.
Your heart was saying something,
Mm.
and physically people were saying different things.
Mm.
And because you come from a different cultural background, it's difficult sometimes for people to understand you. And then you mean well, and people think you don't mean well, just because probably your color and all of that. So sometimes it's difficult. Trust me, it's not easy to stand in a room. I've spoken in some places to stand in a room where you just see everybody's like different color from you, and you talk. You don't know whether they're listening to you or not. You look into the eyes, you see people, you see a judgmental eye, you see many things.
Yeah, I say a lot.
And you're like, oh. Sometimes you go to the shopping center to buy something. I don't want to call any brand here, and you're just standing in the queue. Just the way some people just keep distance from you, as if there's COVID-19 happening. It sends a lot of message, and you're like,
Yeah, it does. But you know what, man? That there says a lot actually, because you should never look at somebody just the way they look like.
yeah,
And the thing is as well, I think because the reason why is because we, like you said, there's a difference between refugees and immigration.
yes,
And
and skilled,
skilled immigration is
yes.
different between refugees. The refugees, they come from a place of war. You know what I mean? A place of trauma, a place of all of those things. I found out that I'm a refugee, bro. I did not know that.
Well,
I didn't know. My brother told me that we were refugees, and I remember why we were refugees, because in Chile there was a bad president,
Jesus.
and then every Chilean was trying to get out. In that opportunity, America and Australia was trying to help get a few people from the mining, because Australia needed miners.
Wow.
In Chile, we are known for mining. If you go to Chile, there will be some people like me and you right now. We have our own little mine.
Wow.
You can make your own little mine and dig for gold, and you can sell it, right? In that time, Australia didn't know how to mine. So they bring all the Chileans over. You can offer you a job, and we can start mining and teach us. And there you go. I didn't know we were refugees. But the thing is, there are some who have gone through so much trauma, and I don't blame them that sometimes if they start drinking, that part comes out.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? But they got to understand that's not their fault. It's not their fault that they have that proper trauma. And I try to explain that to people. I'm like, can you imagine if you're here in your house and then you got people breaking into your door, and then they're trying to threaten you with a knife and try to kill you or shoot you, and they try to take your wife away, and God knows do what they want to do to them. That's what I try to get people to understand. Some people can't understand.
Man,
I don't understand how they can't understand. But if people do understand, please. It's not their fault.
It's not your fault at all. Not at all.
Yes, they do. There are some who've done really bad violence and this and that. But you gotta understand as well. Like, if you come, even right now, even if a person who's in the army goes to war, when they come back, they can't fit into the reality of the world.
No.
Because the things that they see, the nightmares and everything. Okay, they understand because they come from the army. But when it comes to the refugee, you're coming from a place of defense, war. Like me, if I had my family here, I'm still in my mind. I had to protect my family, how I protected back at home. You know what I mean? So people gotta understand the difference between, you know what I mean, refugees and skilled immigrants.
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know that.
So there you go. Learn something new today.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just what I mean, man. There's a lot of refugees. There's a lot of skilled migrants. They gotta separate. I can't understand the difference. And then as well, the refugees come here. They as well have to come here and adjust as well. You know,
Start a life,
start anew
start
again.
afresh.
But what advice would you give to someone who's able to move to a new country? What advice would you give to them?
As much as possible, take out time. Give yourself time. Don't be in a hurry. Learn the culture, learn the system, learn the things that you need to get ahead, like learning how to be able to do your identification document, get to your own accommodation, get to start working. Learn. Don't assume anything. Avoid assuming anything. Learn how to talk to people, learn how they talk to people, learn how to receive things.
Mm.
Is important.
Mm.
As I said, that what I'm saying in general is social integration. I'm big on that. Take our time to learn the ways and everything. And trust me, give yourself time. Some people it takes 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Don't think you know it all because it just came maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Give yourself time. And before you know it, you will know so much that you feel confident and relaxed living in a country like this.
Just hold on 2 seconds. We're just going to give it a bit of pause because we're going to check on the cameras because I think I heard a stop.
Okay.
Just pause. All right, we're back. Everything's all right. But yes, you were saying about when coming into a new country, just take your time.
Take your time, yes.
Inform
important.
yourself.
Yes. Take your time, learn. Don't be in a hurry. Don't try to compare yourself with somebody who have been here for 3 years, 4 years. They have been here. They are doing just fine. Take your time. Learn. Tell yourself that I'm giving myself time. Social integration. Ask questions. Never assume anything. Because what people do most times that really affect them so much is that they begin to assume. They assume that the way it is back there is the way it is here. And then they see you who have been here all your life and they're trying to compare. How are you comparing? Instead of you to learn. You learn from this person. And you want to act, you're open, you're vulnerable. Of course, I know some people can be silly sometimes.
Yes.
You're vulnerable to them and they can take advantage of that. But what I'm trying to say, they're still good people and you have to be able to be signing to know some of them. And the last but not the least, of course, you trust God.
Oh, 100%.
You trust God.
100%.
Believe that things will work out better. Have a positive mindset about everything. Don't be pessimistic. Don't say it's not working because probably you haven't gotten your first job or something. It might take time, but just be positive.
For people who do trust in God or people who just trust in the universe, please just trust in the process. Not even just for immigrants, but I think everyone else. If you want something to happen, for the past few years, after I got married, I think trusting in God has made me more happier than anything in this world right now because things happen for a reason, and we have multiple conversations about this off topic.
Yes, off topic.
I mean, it's off the podcast, but trusting God is one of the best advice that I think anyone can say, or even just say trust in the universe, because some people don't really believe, and which is okay. But I say trust in the universe and trust in God for every journey that you go through.
Yeah, I was thinking probably this kind of conversation we have right now, we're gonna have it in some other time.
Oh, we will have a religious conversation. Don't you worry about that.
Yeah. So, but I love that generalization of trusting in God. Put your trust in God, the supreme being out there. Just trust that somebody watching over you, and that what you're doing, you're gonna be open-minded, open to learn, stay humble, keep a cool head.
Amazing.
Your time will come.
Honestly, it's just amazing how what you've been through, how much you've gone through, and now people can understand where immigrants come from. It's not just something that you come here and you get given things. It's something that you guys have to work hard for and change of life. Because some people come here to improve their life, to look after the family from where they're coming from, or refugees as well, or as well as people who are trying to change their way of life because there's corruption in the leadership in their countries. So this is a very good podcast for people to understand where immigrants are coming from, because we're having right now problems here due to people not understanding immigrants, and they think, they're just coming here to buy things and go back to their country, which there is. But you have to split between the people who are actually working and the ones who are taking opportunity. And I get it where the Australians are coming from, because there are people who do that. Come here, take opportunities and go back to their countries, and that's not good either. But
100%.
people who are working hard, people who are trying to change their lives, you can't put everyone in one basket.
Yes.
That's one thing that right now all parts of the world, like America, Australia, maybe even Canada and the UK, people putting every immigrant in one basket.
Basket,
You have to
yes.
separate them
Yes.
all,
Yes.
and you must understand that there are videos from these parts of the world asking for like skilled migrants
Yes.
to
Migrants,
come to the
yes.
countries
Yes.
and for
Yes.
jobs and opportunities.
Yes, there are a lot of them there. For instance, in the US, we have lots of and in the UK, we have lots of Nigerian doctors there.
Oh yes.
There was a time it was like almost thousands, to a point where Nigerian government had to say, "Oh, we need to start stopping this," because it was a brain drain. It's a system in migration or country where a country trains their people, and then because this country knows this training is good for these people, so they start taking the skilled people from that country. It's called brain drain. Yeah, brain drain. Most people don't know that. So that's what UK did that towards Nigeria a lot. So that's why I have thousands of them in the NHS. In the US, the same thing happening. Best doctors everywhere. Some of them grew up there and everything. The children grow up and they're in that profession and everything.
Man, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. So
That's absolutely amazing. But we'll wrap it up there, guys. This will
continue.
thank you, Precious, for coming
Yeah,
in
it's so
to my
nice to be
podcast.
here. If you're listening to this podcast, a lot. This is the first one ever. We have a lot coming, and I want you to stay tuned, listen, stream as much as possible. I mean, learn a lot from it. Share to your friends. Make sure you're sharing this, man. If you listen to this point and you're not sharing this, man, you're not doing well for us. Make sure you share it properly, and then pay attention to what is coming up next. All right, have a beautiful day.
Everyone have a beautiful day. This is Beyond All Limits.